I think these would be best if they're backlit. But let's cut this damn thing. Hey, today I want to make some silhouettes of a few things from the Lord of the Rings. Barad-dûr, Tower with the Great Eye, and Mount Doom. And we're going to see how it goes. It's going to be a little bit of an experiment. First, I got to make my design, and then I got to find my carbon paper wherever the hell that might be. Well, I had to try the garage, the basement, my bedroom, and then eventually back to the workshop and found the carbon paper. What are we using this for? It's from back in the day when people wanted to make instant copies of something before, you know, the light bulb. I don't even know if that's true. I made a design. We're gonna use something like this, and I want to trace it onto my template that I'm going to cut. So I'm gonna use carbon paper for that. This is a carver's trick that I learned from my teacher, Deborah. So we're gonna do that now. So it came out pretty nice with the carbon paper. I was able to trace it right on. I made a few adjustments around here. I think I'm gonna fix this as well. And I've also hand-drawn myself a Mount Doom. The plan is I'm gonna put this here, like that. Well, my scroll saw bit the dust a couple of years ago, and I needed to buy a new one.
Fortunately, when I went to go buy a rocker off of Craigslist, I came across a guy selling all of his possessions, included this friend here, probably from the 80s. It's covered in rust, but that's okay, we're gonna clean it. The other problem was, could not get the damn blade on. It seems to take a standard blade, and I understand that the tension was released, but I still could not get it on. And realized that there was a female end for an Allen key at the bottom, so it seemed like I needed to get myself the properly oversized Allen key, which I didn't have any of. So I ran to Ace Hardware, got myself de-ruster, got myself an Allen key, got back, unscrewed this thing, did nothing. Now what I've learned is this actually needed to spin. Lesson learned, you know, my last one didn't have to do that. So here I am, trying to get this damn thing back in, not having needed to buy Allen keys whatsoever. We learned, right?
All right, so here's what happened. I got the blade in, and that's great. The thing works. And then I decided to take some of the rust off the thing, and that was going fine until I spilled the rust remover all over my worktop, which is made of MDF. That's great, but on the bright side, looks pretty darn clean. Sort of just soaked up, and let's hope no one lights a flame for a while. So I think this is pretty cool. I think it's gonna work pretty well, and especially when I get this fixed to an actual piece of wood. I'm just working with plywood right now for the template and try to cut it with my flush trim bit. For now, let's get Mount Doom cut up. All right, I think that's pretty cool. This is how it will look in the end, ideally. And then of course, we need to cut the eye. Truth. I put the template, I stuck it to another piece of wood. I chose plywood right now, mostly because my flush trim router bit is only a ½ inch deep. So I decided to take the best piece of wood that I could find in the shop presently at a ½ inch that I was okay with messing around with. And so that was another piece of plywood. I think it turned out pretty darn well. Here's the result. So here's the original. I stuck it to this other piece of wood with double-sided tape, and then I took it to the router, and I have this now. This little tower over here, the bit just barely could not fit in here, and you know what? I'm okay with that, because ultimately, I think that this looks okay. This situation here needs a little bit of cleaning up, but I think it's fine. Okay, it's been a couple days, and I just got back into the shop And I've gone through the process. I've reiterated a couple of times with these using my templates, and basically everything works, which is really exciting because I wasn't sure how well it would work. Unfortunately, there were some casualties. I did make a version out of poplar. This poplar one is the better of the two. The other one, definitely parts of it cracked up here, and I beat the crap out of my flush trim router. Look at this. It's off. And I think it's causing problems, like this burn up here on my template. So I needed to go buy a new one. Unfortunately, they didn't have one in the size that I use. I had to get a larger one. So I did another version where I was using a larger flush trim bit that couldn't quite get in to places like here. So this ended up just the way that it is, and it couldn't get all the way down into here, unfortunately. Now I think, you know, if I had to live with this, I'd be fine. Ultimately, I think I would like to try and replace the actual bit with the correct size, but I think that this looks okay, and I'm fairly happy with it. Okay, I've decided that with the eye, I'm gonna try the router. I did not like that. The eye did not stick well just on its own. You know, Barad-dûr and Mount Doom, they had enough real estate. The double-sided tape worked really well. This did not. The template moved around a lot, and it was scary. I didn't like that. I think I'm gonna have to cut them uniquely every time. I don't love that, but if that's what I have to do, that's what I gotta do. Now that I've got a bunch of these cut and a bunch of Mount Dooms cut, and my mother is done interrupting me, we're gonna sand them. I got a stack of wood here. We're gonna go outside and we're gonna spray paint all these. I gotta show you how these turned out. I mean, look at the gloss on that. I was hoping that it would give me sort of that metallic finish. That's just fantastic. I mean, isn't that just cool? Let's hold it up to the light for a second, and then you can really get the effect. I think these would be best if they're backlit. What I also like is that the Mount Dooms, you can see the grain on them, and I think that gives it just a little bit of an effect that makes it feel more mountainous. Mountainous? Autumnal? I don't know. Mountainy. More like a mountain. And I think that helps to differentiate it a little bit from the natural thing from the man-made industrial thing. It's time for assembly. All right, so let's sand up a little bit. I got 60 grit right here. One thing I would do differently in the future is I would spray paint the edges with this upside down. I got extra collection and pooling of the spray paint around the edges. Now it's kind of a cool effect, but it is not what I intended. It does look a little stylistic, but you know, I don't want anyone to see through me. So I'm a little nervous because I'm gonna try some instant glue here. I've never done this before. What I've seen some people do is combine it with wood glue. Let's put down our wood glue. Here we go. The adhesive. Okay. How sweet is that, huh? Now we gotta do the eye. There we go, folks. Thanks for watching Kingdom Carver. If you liked the video, like and subscribe. Come back next time. I think we're going to do some Disney stuff. Well, shit.